So we're upstairs in level 7 in the Tinton Theatre in Ballybunion. It's a very exciting night for us tonight, I suppose, guys. And we're delighted to be joined by the chairman of the Tinton Theatre, Jimmy Deanahan, who's here with us. And maybe, Jimmy, are you excited about this evening here in the Tinton?
Oh, absolutely. Nathan Carter is probably the most popular now country western singer in the whole country.
Absolutely.
And can you imagine, like, we have a full house tonight, and if we had him on tomorrow night again, we'd probably have 2 full houses.
Oh, yeah.
So he's hugely popular, and he loves performing here in the Tinton. He loves coming back here because it's one of the finest theatres in the country, and that's acknowledged, and all his team acknowledges that, and they find it very easy to work here as well, because it's, I suppose, the way the layout of the theatre, and even though we have our own new sound system now, he's brought in additional sound system to make sure that everything works very well. So it should be a very exciting night.
Yeah, I hear it's a whole new setup. The stage is different to last time. So it's exciting. He keeps coming back to us, but it keeps bringing something new.
Yeah, I suppose it's his third time, and he mentions every time when he comes to the Tinton how much he really likes Ballybunion. And I know the last time he was here, he stayed overnight and he had a great time. And he really likes the Kerry people and the Ballybunion people also. And I know that, Jack, that you love his song, The Wagon Wheel. That's your favourite.
Man, it's iconic. Like, yeah. I mean, everybody knows that. We grew up with that, like, listening, sitting in the bar, like, and that Wagon Wheel song would be playing. It really, like, embedded itself into the culture. Yeah. What a classic hit that was.
Yeah, really
we actually have wagon wheels that we're going to give him my
but
boy.
it's a kind of energy on the stage that kind of connects with people, that chemistry with his audience.
Yeah.
And his fitness, and of course he's highly talented, but the fact that he can both, I suppose he's a very good musician, apart from being a great singer.
Yeah. He
It's
plays about 3 instruments,
of,
I think.
it's a combination of so many different things, but he's definitely one of the greatest, stars in our country at this moment of time, and we are so lucky to have him.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Because, as you say, it's not just about musical talent; it's about his ability as a performer. And I think part of that comes through him being a genuinely nice person, and he brings that across on stage.
And he's very accessible to people when he goes out after his show, despite the fact that he would put a lot of energy into it.
Yes.
But he goes on and meet people, and he has that conviviality with people that he finds it very easy. He's never stressed or anything. He doesn't want to go away. He signs autographs all night.
Yeah.
That's right. And I think that's a very important point, Jimmy, you just raised there, because he was conscious on this trip to the Tinton that he wanted to make himself available to meet the people beforehand tonight, because he's got another engagement that he's got to leave here and travel all the way up to Belfast tonight. But he told us that he really wanted to meet the people and give them that opportunity. So what you say there is true, like.
Yeah, other acts, if they don't have the time after, they just don't have the time after, and you can understand that too. But he made a point of making himself available by coming that bit earlier.
My only disappointment this year is that his grandmother is not with him, and because last year I told her I'd give her a book about my sporting life, and she was very interested in it. And unfortunately, I didn't send it to her, but I've had it now for her. I brought it out this evening. I'm sure Nathan will pass it on to her.
Yeah,
I'm sure he will, because he speaks very eloquently all of the time about his nana, and I know that she means so much to him, and she comes on so many tours and things. And last year we were very lucky here that we had both his granddad and his nana with him here, and we had a lovely evening with them also.
And also she brought him to the Fleadh Cure in the Stole when he was a young lad.
Right.
So they have that big connection here with North Kerry, and that's where Nathan, I suppose, really started as a musician, and he got that confidence, I suppose, winning awards and so on. But so she has that connection with a very, I suppose, positive connection with North Kerry and with the Stole and Ballybunion going back over the years. So we can really claim Nathan Carter as one of our own.
We'll claim him. No problem with that.
So Jimmy, it's fantastic tonight. Like, the weather is good, and we know that there's so many other things going on with hurling matches tomorrow and this evening also. But to fill out this fantastic theatre tonight for him is a huge success.
It is, and people are coming here from all over the place.
Yeah.
And actually, it's very difficult to get accommodation here in Ballybunion and the Stole. The Stole was full last night. and here in Ballybunion. So people have travelled here from long distances because he has such a huge fan club, and they just can't get enough of him live. One thing seeing him online, social media, but you need to see the person on stage and to get that energy and that
get the real
connection.
experience of it. Yeah.
I suppose, Dermot, you were speaking earlier on about it also, and like the financial and the social benefit that this event in the Tintown will have for the town itself in Ballybunion.
Yeah, exactly. Because you expect a weekend in July, Ballybunion is going to be busy. We all expect that just as a given. But when the weather doesn't play ball, it doesn't necessarily go that way. And I know there's very few people around Ballybunion other than the fact that we have such a great show happening in the Tintown. So it's great to have that extra benefit.
But of course, we wouldn't be able to have it but for the fact that the Tintown is here. And we have to refer back, I suppose, to the vision of Micheál Carr. And he didn't think small.
No.
I remember at the time, I wanted him to do a kind of a St. John's theatre that we have in the Stole with Doon Church. But no, he thought bigger. He wanted to have a major theatre in Ballybunion. And the idea was that he would develop a whole troupe that would travel all over the world, and that they would perform here during the summer, and then they'd travel during the winter. And he realised that to some extent. So I think when people think about the Tintown, they should just think about Micheál and his vision, because we wouldn't be here but for him. And we have something really special here that I think that we can reach out further afield even than Ireland and bring people in here. Because where do you get that combination of sea and also land all together? And it's surrounded, by a really traditional country as well, that's steeped in the traditional arts. And it's a country music town. Ballybunion always has been, going back to the 60s, 70s. It was the centre of the show band scene. There were 3 major halls in Ballybunion, and you'd have 3 of the biggest show bands in the country here performing on the same night. And they'd be all full. I remember, I'm older than you guys, but I remember that quite well, back in the late 60s and 70s. But Ballybunion was the centre of the entertainment industry in Ireland back then. So it's great that Nathan Carter now, and through this theatre and the fact we have it here, can continue that great tradition.
Yeah, absolutely. You spoke there about how you're involved in the beginnings of the Tintown. You're also a big part in getting it back open when it did, unfortunately.
Well, absolutely. And Micheál, I advised him that it probably was a bit too big maybe for Ballybunion, because I had been involved in St. John's, but Micheál was very tunnel visioned and he went ahead with it. But look, I was there to help him. I was up in the Dáil at the time, and I was there to help him get grant aid and make that contact with Sheila De Valera, who was a minister at the time and who was a very good friend of mine. So all those contacts helped Micheál, but it was Micheál that was the driver. A lot of people helped him on the way, and I was delighted to be of assistance to him. But at the end of the day, it was Micheál that was the man in that sense. And now, it's great to be part of it now with all of you. And we have something really special here that's going to get bigger. I can see getting much bigger in the future, and we have proven that it works now.
Yeah, that's very good. So, Jimmy, I suppose on a lighter note, we know how fond you are of the country music yourself, and you told me earlier on when we were walking up the steps about your fondness for Nathan Carter's new song, Listen to the Radio. So is there a possibility maybe that you'll do a duet tonight with him on that?
Well, if he certainly calls me from the audience, I'd be up.
But
I would say I'd have a lot of competition for that.
Well, thank you so much for joining us, Jimmy. I know you're very busy. We're absolutely delighted to have you. We'll certainly be having you back in the future if you have us.
And I think this is a great initiative.
Yeah.
And I think it'll connect Tintown with people all over the world.
Yes.
Yes.
Thanks so much,
Amazing.
Jimmy.
Thanks, Jimmy.
Thank you.
That's great.
That was brilliant.
Bit of fun.
That was
Just bring a bit of light.